Good morning children, welcome back. We have already studied in the previous module about some properties of the lipids. I have already told you that lipids are fatty acids with glycerol as the side chain. Right? Lipids contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and are insoluble in water. So a lipid contains fatty acids compulsorily. And number of fatty acids can vary. Okay, if a lipid contain one fatty acid plus one glycerol molecule as a side chain, then it is called monoglyceride. If two fatty acids are there with one glycerol molecule, it is called diglycerides. Then three fatty acids with one glycerol, then it is triglyceride. So there are three important forms of lipids based on the number of fatty acids in it, along with the side chain glycerol. So one fatty acid plus one glycerol, that is monoglycerides. Two fatty acids plus one glycerol, diglycerides. Three fatty acids plus one glycerol, triglycerides. Anyway, lipids can also be fats and oil. Lipids can also be fats and oil based on the boiling point. In room temperature, the lipids are, fats are found in the solid form. Fats are solid in room temperature. Then oil is another lipid which is liquid in the room temperature. So based on the melting point, the lipids can also be of two categories, or fatty acids can also be two categories, fats and oil. Fats are solid in the room temperature, it means that they have high melting point. Okay. Then oil with low melting point, and they are liquid in the room temperature. Gingerly oil, you might have heard of gingerly oil, they are with low melting points. That is one form of a lipid. Now another form of lipids, phospholipids. How are phospholipids formed? Yes, phospholipids are formed when lipids combines with a phosphate group or organic compound containing phosphates. So we can understand that phospholipids are lipids or complex lipids which contain fatty acids plus phosphate groups. This is biologically very important because our plasma membrane, the cellular plasma membrane, the phospholipids are the most important component. Not only that, phospholipids play very important role as the electron acceptors, electron transporting mechanisms, or electron transporting complexes in mitochondria and even in the plastids, phospholipids. Now, one of the most common phospholipids found in the cell membrane is lecithin, Lecithin, lecithin. So how many points you have studied about lipids now? I have told you lipids contain fatty acids plus side chain R. If side chain R is glycerol, then it is called monoglycerides or glycerides, fatty acid glycerides. Okay, monoglycerides contain one fatty acid plus one glycerol. Diglycerol contain two fatty acids plus glycerol, and triglycerides contain three fatty acids plus glycerol. They are very important in our metabolic activities in our body. Fats and oil is another two forms of lipids. Fats are solid in the room temperature, whereas oil is liquid in the room temperature. And gingerly oil is having very low melting point. As a result, this gingerly oil is very useful in cooking purpose, and also it is very healthy to our body. Right? Phospholipids are the fatty acids plus phosphate groups or organized or organic phosphate groups. So we can say fatty acids plus phosphate form the phospholipids, which are most important component in the cell membrane. Example, lecithin is a phospholipid found in our cell membrane, right? That's all about the lipids, right? Now we are coming to the next part of the chapter, nitrogen bases. You know, nitrogen bases are simple organic molecules. Nitrogen bases are simple organic molecules. They are the simple biomolecules. Nitrogen bases are carbon containing organic molecule. Nitrogen bases are carbon containing heterocyclic molecule, we can say. Carbon containing heterocyclic molecules. Nitrogen bases. What are nitrogen bases? Carbon and nitrogen containing, particularly nitrogen containing. Carbon also there. Nitrogen and carbon containing heterocyclic molecule. Why they are called heterocyclic molecule? Nitrogen bases are called heterocyclic because they have different structural forms. They may be double ring. They may be double ring compound, as in purine. Purine is a nitrogen base. Purine is a nitrogen base. Purine is one of the nitrogen base found in all organisms. Purine. Then another one is pyrimidine. Pyrimidine is you can see single ring compound. So purines are double ring compound and pyrimidines are single ring compound, and they vary from structural moiety, structural forms. There are different structural forms for these nitrogen bases, and they may be double ring, okay, heterocyclic, and mono ring, single ring compound. Double ring compound example purine, and single ring compound pyrimidine. Purine can be of two types, adenine and guanine. Adenine and guanine. Guanine. Short form we say A. And for guanine we write G. Then pyrimidine can be of three types. Cytosine, Cytosine. Cytosine is we write short form C. Cytosine, thiamine, Thymine. Thiamine. T. Uracil, Uracil. We write U. So pyrimidines are three categories: cytosine, thiamine, uracil. Purine, double ring, heterocyclic compound, adenine, guanine. So these are the introductory points about the nitrogen base. So nitrogen bases are simple biomolecule present only in the living beings. So nitrogen bases are nitrogen and carbon containing heterocyclic forms. Now I have told you two forms of nitrogen bases, purine and pyrimidine. Purines are of two categories, adenine and guanine, whereas pyrimidines are three, cytosine, thiamine and uracil. Got these points? Clear. Now we are coming to the details of this nitrogen bases. Yes, nitrogen bases can be different forms. Nitrogen base exists. So you know, nitrogen bases do not exist as simple forms. They combine with other molecules. For example, when nitrogen base combines with nitrogen base combines with sugar, then it forms a nucleoside. NuClEoside, nucleoside. Suppose nitrogen base is adenine plus sugar. Sugar usually ribose sugar, okay? Ribose. 5 carbon sugar, ribose sugar. If adenine combines with the ribose, we call adenosine nucleoside. adenosine nucleotide. Then guanine combines with ribose or any other sugar, then it is called guanosine. Guanosine, guanosine. Thymine combines with sugar or ribose sugar is common one. Then it is called thymosin. Then cytosine is the nitrogen base combined with one ribose. It is called cytosine. Like that. So nitrogen bases as such will not exist freely in the nature. They combine with other molecules. Most commonly sugar. What about sugar? A ribose sugar. What is a ribose sugar? A sugar with 5 carbon compound. They are called monosaccharide or simple sugar. 5 carbon together constitute a single molecule in the ribose. So we call it a monosaccharide. So we can say adenine combined with ribose sugar form adenosine. Guanine combines with ribose sugar form guanosine. Thymine combines with ribose sugar form thymosin. Cytosine combined with ribose sugar form cytosine. All these are called nucleoside. NuClEOSIDE. Very clear what is nucleoside, how are they formed, and what are the examples. Clear? Now we are coming to nucleotides. A nucleotide is formed when 3 compounds are combined together. Nitrogen bases. Any nitrogen base. N. I have written N for nitrogen base. Then sugar. I have written S for sugar. And phosphate group. P. P means phosphate. These 3 together form a nucleotide. Nucleotide. So what is a nucleotide? Nitrogen base, sugar plus phosphate group together form nucleotide. As I said, nucleoside phosphate is absent. Only nitrogen bases plus sugar. Now, what are the examples? For example, if I am writing adenine as the nitrogen base, adenine plus sugar, any sugar, it can be glucose, fructose, ribose. Okay. Usually, nitrogen base combined with 5 carbon sugar, ribose. So we have to replace this S with R, ribose plus phosphate. What is the nucleotide formed? Adenyllic acid. Then it forms adenyllic acid. Nucleotide called adenyllic acid. Adenyllic acid. Then thymine combined with ribose and phosphate, it forms thymidyllic acid. Thymidyllic acid. Then guanine combined with ribose plus phosphate, guanidylic acid. Guanidylic acid. Then uracil combined with R plus phosphorus, uridylic acid. So in this way, nitrogen bases combined with sugar and phosphate group, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 phosphates. Okay, then it forms nucleotide. Example, adenine plus ribose plus phosphate, adenylic acid. You may feel little bit difficult, but it is easier once you get that concept. So thymine combined with ribose and phosphate form thymidyllic. Guanine combined with the ribose and phosphate form guanidylic. Then uracil plus ribose plus phosphate form uridylic acid. Dylic acid. So in this way, nucleosides and nucleotides are formed in the nature. Clear? If any doubt you have, you can refer the notes or the textbook. Clear? So nitrogen bases can be in the form of nucleosides and nucleotides. Now we are coming to the next part of the chapter. What is a nucleic acid? You know, you have already studied in lower classes nucleic acids. Nucleic acid. Nucleic acids are genetic material DNA and RNA, which contain nucleotides as the monomer. So what are nucleic acids? Nucleic acids are complex organic compounds containing the monomer of nucleotides. Usually DNA and RNA are the nucleic acids. They are otherwise called genetic material, and they are made up of basically nucleotides, not nucleosides. Nucleotides are the monomers of DNA and RNA. What is monomer? The basic molecule, basic unit. By combining large number of monomers, you can see by combining large number of monomers which are connected by bonds. Monomers can be connected by bonds. Here in the DNA or in the RNA, what are the bonds? I have already told you, phosphodiester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds are the bonds found in the DNA and RNA. Phosphodiester bond. Okay? What is a phosphodiester bond? We will be studying that, already studied. Phosphodiester bond is a bond formed by combining with adjacent sugar ribose. When a phosphate molecule is connected to 3' end of the ribose, and that phosphate in turn combines with the 5' end of the adjacent ribose. So at the center, phosphorus will come, or phosphate group, and this phosphate group to one side combines with the 3' end of a ribose, and the other side it combines with the 5' end of another ribose or subsequent ribose. So this 3' and 5' represent the ribose. So a phosphorus or a phosphate group when combines with the 3' end of the ribose and 5' ends of adjacent ribose is formed but phosphodiester bond, which is uniquely found in DNA and RNA nucleic acids. So you understood what are nucleic acids? DNA and RNA are nucleic acids. Okay, right? They are monomers. They contain large number of monomers of nucleotides combined by phosphodiester bond. Clear this part? Any doubt? We can refer the notes or the module. Thank you.